everyone, you're watching the TNN and this is a TNN Special Report where we will be talking about all the issues and problems being faced by the people of Jammu and Kashmir and all those things, all those factors that are directly affecting the lives of people living here. Like the one issue which is raising once again the epidemic of COVID-19 that is spreading out again in the entire country and is taking tolls again. And we will be talking about corona epidemic and its spread out again in Jammu and Kashmir and how worrisome it is going for the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the people living alongside Jammu and Kashmir now. For a few days back, we have seen the administration has pulled up its socks and is fastening the vaccination processes and is trying to provide the facilities to public in a very eased manner, for which they are connecting the DC offices in this process. In this regard, we have a special report by Anmol Mattoo that will be talking about how worrisome the situation is right now in the entire country and how it is going to impact the people of Jammu and Kashmir, while we see the people of Jammu and Kashmir not following the COVID protocols and not adhering to the SOPs of COVID.
For the second day in a row, India reported 45,352 new cases with 366 deaths due to COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, near about 47,952 new COVID-19 infections were reported. Many people nowadays think that COVID is finished and it won't affect them anymore. People walking streets and markets without mask, and when asked, they say that अरे कोई कोरोना नहीं है, बस जनता को पागल बनाते हैं. And one of them common reply is that they say मैंने तो वैक्सीन लगवा ली है, अब मुझे कोई कोरोना नहीं हो सकता. The daily positivity rate of the infection rose to 2.72% in the country, while the active cases are on the brink of crossing the 4 lakh mark as per Health Ministry's bulletin. The share of active cases now stands at 1.22% of the total cases, and if not taken care, COVID's third wave isn't much far. A medical expert in Jammu and Kashmir has warned against lowering the guard in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic, saying the third wave of COVID will be deadly. The third wave of COVID will be highly dangerous, fatal, and can take a heavy toll of lives. Crowding the markets, health resorts, and weddings without wearing masks and no regard for social distance is unsolicited and unbecoming behavior. Last month, the model suggested that the third wave could peak between October and November, and the daily cases could shoot between 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh every day if a more virulent mutant of SARS-CoV-2 drive fresh infections. However, no mutant that was more infectious than the Delta, which drove the infections during the third wave, emerged. However, even as lockdowns are being lifted, curfews are being relaxed and non-essential establishments being opened. An expert panel under the Ministry of Home Affairs has predicted that the third wave of COVID-19 hitting the country anytime between September and October. While the viruses have continued to mutate and proved unpredictable in the recent times, the only way to ensure safety is through mass vaccination and by following the COVID rules. We can simply save ourselves from this deadly virus by following practice and COVID-appropriate behavior. Some of the precautionary measures are following local guidance. Check to see what the national, regional, and local authorities are advising so you have the most relevant information for where you are. Keep your distance. Stay at least 1 meter away from others even if they don't appear to be sick, since people can have the virus without having symptoms. Wear a mask. Wear a well-fitting 3-layered mask, especially when you can't physically distance or if you are indoors. Clean your hands before putting on and taking off a mask. Avoid crowded places, poorly ventilated indoor locations, and avoid prolonged contact with others. Spend more time outdoors than indoors. Ventilation is important. Open windows when indoors to increase the amount of outdoor air. Avoid touching surfaces, especially in public settings or health facilities, in case people infected with COVID-19 have touched them. Clean surfaces regularly with standard disinfectants. Frequently clean your hands with soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. If you can, carry alcohol-based hand rub with you and use it often. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a bent elbow or tissue. Throwing used tissues in a closed bin right away. Then wash your hands and use an alcohol-based hand rub. Get vaccinated. When it's your turn, get vaccinated. Follow local guidance and recommendations about vaccination.